Hello, everybody. How are we tonight? It is a beautiful Sunday. This is D&V Investigations, where we have a little less D, but a whole lot of balls, and I am your host, Vicky. Hello, everybody. What a frickin' week this was, sort of, kind of. Not really till the end. My gosh, the last couple of days have just been a little bit of extra excitement. Yes, indeed. We have I don't know how many creators now in Comicsgate threatening to sue each other. Ethan's going to sue PTP and Lazamat. Liam is going to sue Matt Bahr and possibly Dark Gift. And apparently me. I'm still on the run from the Crown from a few years ago when I doxed Liam's grandma's gas station. But, hey, what's another lawsuit? Hello. Yes, it is definitely World War Spurg, and it has begun. El de gusto, ¿cómo estás? Yes. Then out in the real world, we've got Candace Owens being sued by Macron in France. Yes, because she insists on calling his wife a he, even though apparently they sent her gobs of information to say, shut the fuck up, quit saying that shit, why are you lying? And she didn't. She doubled down, and so they filed a 217-page complaint against Candace Owens. Yeah. Oh, I missed the 9-hour Finatra stream. Yeah. Gosh, I'm sure it was just awesome. Who the fuck sits for 9? Who wants to sit for 9 hours and watch Finn? I don't even expect people to want to come in here for an hour on a Sunday night and listen to my ass. Nevertheless, 9 hours of Finn getting drunk. Wow. And then CG Church, of course, was today. And that was, I caught bits and pieces of that as I was editing. And boy, that was some weird fucking shit. Hello, Henry. How are you this evening? And I'm sorry you missed the best 3 hours of a 9-hour live stream. My Lord, 9 hours of drooling. I believe it. Was TJ there? Did he bring on TJ? I bet you Katie did, was in the chat though, right? Yeah. Nobody should stream for 9 hours. Shit. Ethan doesn't even stream for 9 hours when he launches campaigns. Ha. Yes, William Perdomo, welcome. There is a CG church. It is run by New CG. So I guess that will tell you where they're coming from. It's scary. Like, I truly find it to be one of the more bizarre additions to the Comicsgate space, to tell you the truth. But yes, Katie and LRJ are a cute little couple, right? I know. So I figure we can start with the dumpster fire round. This is going to be just a quick roundup of stuff that has been going on. And gosh darn it, I forgot to check something. Let's see. Where is the one thing I forgot to put on? I can't believe it. I had all this stuff I was putting together into my little setup here, and I forgot this one. But now I found it. It's okay. And I'm gonna have to, I think, here we go. All right. So as we all know, last night, Ethan was streaming, of course, and He wanted 120K last night. That was his goal. That was his goal, people. And as of now, it still sits at $117,892 with 1,080 backers. It actually somehow lost $3 and one backer since the last time I looked an hour ago, when I meant to take the screenshot that I totally fucking failed to take. And I apologize for that. My fault. My boomerang slowing up the goddamn stream. Yes. His daily funding is sad. And Edwin pointed this out. Comicsgate campaigns now only seem to really fund on the first day. And then I think Ethan's getting maybe 1 to 5 backers a day. Same with Shane's, what is that thing called? Anatomic? I don't know. But in the last 2 weeks, Master Racers has gained 1 whole backer. That one's great. Hello, Woodrow. How you doing tonight? And hello, Edwin. Nice to see you here. I'm cribbing from a lot of your tweets this over the last few days. These were all from today. And as you know, Rennie launched Fiendish Chapter 3. That is available over on Indiegogo. I don't know if she's opening on Kickstarter or has opened on Kickstarter yet. She has gained $36,000, and yeah, she beat out Graham Nolan pretty bad. Another slide I forgot to put in here, but yeah, Graham Nolan I think has gained maybe 3 backers and is still sitting somewhere around 15 or 16,000. Comicsgate just does not have the same kind of oomph that it did before, but yes, she definitely demolished Graham Nolan. And they all said, oh, she's not going to make any money whatsoever. And there was some piker on Twitter talking about how Kickstarter is not just some gold mine where you're going to get funding. You have to be there for years and years. What? You don't have to be Brian Pulido to make money on Kickstarter. And it really doesn't matter if you're making a shit ton of money on Kickstarter, if you're also making money on Indiegogo, because it's still just what, people? It's something we call more money. More money is always good. More backers are always good. And yes, Rennie definitely bitch slapped him. And I think she got a good kick into Ethan too with all of his bullshit. So, I don't know if you heard, but Indiegogo has been sold to a company called GameFound. And while I'm sure a lot of you are chomping at the bit for there to be some big, huge changes going on in Indiegogo, I'm not really sure that's going to happen. I read through their terms of service, and it's very touchy-feely. Oh, you know, these things might never get finished kind of thing. Well, let me go ahead and tell you who GameFound is. They've been around since 2016. They grew, of course. It's a EU company. They're based out of Germany. So all of the SJW, be kind, no racism, no going at anybody, no harassment, all of that is part of their TOS in a way that's much more touchy-feely than Indiegogo. They are also half owned by Ravensburger Games. They also make probably some of the best puzzles around next to Springbok. But they own half of this company here. So you're also going to have to deal with some sort of little extra corporate something. But I think they're just, Ravensburger is just using GameFound as a feeder for games that they then release. I am sure that a lot of the games that end up being made that are eventually distributed outside of the crowdfunding space are put out by Ravensburger, which is kind of weird, kind of cool. Yeah, hello Apex Comics, nice to see you as well. So I don't know that it's going to affect much in the way of Indiegogo. Indiegogo's not going to suddenly start getting all weird about people not fulfilling campaigns. And the only changes that may happen, because we all know Indiegogo is already censored campaigns and taken campaigns down. Like from the early days of Comicsgate, there was the guy with the Confederate flag. They took Von Klaus, even though he deserved it. They took one of his campaigns down for a little bit because it was too violent or had Nazi imagery or something about a gas bomb. I don't remember specifically. I think they took down a couple of other campaigns just for content. And but, you know, of course, we're only supposed to think that Kickstarter does that because they don't want you using Kickstarter, because if you use Kickstarter, you are out from under the thumb of Comicsgate. And we're actually going to talk a little bit more about the Kickstarter thing and Ethan, because I've got a clip from the other night. Because he kind of got mad at a tweet by PTP. An update on the Ethan Klein, Denham's, Frogan, Caseytron lawsuits. So Denham's and Ethan Klein filed a joint stipulation to get the Redditors, the Reddit mods, get a subpoena from Reddit for their information. I told you when this thing first kicked off that somebody's gonna need to turn. And it was Denham's right out of the gate. The first one with a lawyer, the first one I believe to be served. And her lawyer said, oh, yeah, we're definitely, you're definitely doing this. I don't know what's going to happen. You know, if they've made some sort of deal, who the hell knows? We just know that Denham's has just killed her entire channel. She has destroyed her place in the community going forward because now she's an ARC. Now she's the one that turned on her fellow women and co-equal victims of Ethan Klein. Yes. And then, as you can see, it is signed by her attorney as well as Ethan Klein's attorney. That's the top one, Rom Barnissen, that's Klein's attorney, and Ben Casis is Denham's attorney. And then we move on to Caseytron, who filed a motion to extend the time for her to file her answer to the complaint, because, you know, it took her a little while to get an attorney, and she now has three attorneys, which is crazy. And one of them is the same guy who's representing Denham's, because these bitches be dumb. Never. This is okay, personal experience here, going back to what happened with me and Dean and Ethan and Poulter. Ethan had made a comment. He DM'd Dean and I and said, so should I have my attorney represent you chuckleheads? And we're like, oh, that seems pretty nice, right? Until he talked to the attorney, and the attorney says, hey, yeah, that's probably not a really good idea because, you know, you guys have different interests. They can conflict. Casey Tron and Denims, their interests are going to conflict, right? Because Ethan Klein isn't going to need to file a joint motion with Casey Tron to subpoena the Reddit mods, because he's going to get it in his civil suit with Denim. So he's already going to have that information. Yes, those same Reddit mods, they are named in all 3 of the lawsuits. And so, yeah, you don't share a fucking attorney. And then we have Frogan. Yeah. Frogan was kind of, well, I think, in my opinion, I'm not going to accuse the woman of anything, but yeah, she was dodging service. Yeah. Yes, these bitches be dumb. You can put that on my on my epitaph for the stream, I suppose. She was finally served, but the story of how she was served is crazy. And so much different than when I was quote unquote served in California, because it seems that this process server, unlike the one who supposedly served me when I was in North Carolina but serving in California, didn't follow. Hello, Kate. Nice to see you. So on 7/1 at 2:30 in the morning, he shows up at her place, and it's a 5-story business-style apartment building that's secured by a locked door and intercom. So she's not listed anywhere. He couldn't just go buzzing, himself in through her little buzzer. So he waits, and he sits, and he waits, and he sneaks his way into the building as some resident was leaving, and stays there till 4:30. Now, I know this seems really weird, these midnight, middle of the night, go see if she's there, but apparently this is when she streams. So the next night, also at 2:30 a.m., he had to wait until about 3:05, and this guy's really he jotted down some pretty specific. He took note of the time of freaking everything, and then he was able to get in when somebody left, and then he approached the elevator, took it up to the 4th floor, located her apartment, and then stepped back away from the peephole and waited until 6:30. Nothing. He heard movement, but of course, nobody was coming out in the middle of the night. Then we move on to 7/5. So he waits a few days, and he wasn't able to gain access. This is also at 2 a.m. And gets, he's out there in the hallway till 8 in the morning. And then, it's like, yeah, nobody's here, and he dips. On 7/14, it was substituted service on Frogan. Substituted service means that it was given to somebody else knowingly. He knowingly gave it to somebody else who was in her apartment. This is something that the process server that supposedly went after me never did. He only went to my apartment in California that I didn't live in once. So he had to wait to get into the building. He ends up running into some chick coming out of the apartment who says she's not Frogan, refuses to show ID, and he left it there on the doorstep, and then they mailed her a copy of the serve. So she is now served after hiding for nearly 2 weeks. Oh, Joe, you'll have to go back. Go to my Vickyverse channel, and there's a whole video there about, well, a few probably, but there's at least one about the whole Ethan, Dean, and I being sued by Preston Poulter for defamation in federal court in Texas. Yeah. That's what I was being sued for. And yeah. Yes. I murdered someone. No, that was the other Vicky Kundert. that's the other one. There really is another one who murdered her boyfriend. So that was pretty much it for the dumpster fire round, because we're gonna get on to this video that I spent way too much time editing considering how short it is, but I am trying to learn a new editing software. I know I got out of the one with Poulter. I'm still on the run from the Crown, and now I'm gonna be sued again by Liam, which I found out on Monday morning when I woke up. Apparently he had a little bit of a thing. Yeah. All right.
Shane leaning on the hood of his cube. I could draw that.
Oh, Raj Mataro says the cube-shaped cars were popular in Japan for a while. You think that's why Shane got it, to like attract more Asian chicks?
He's a weeb at heart, you know
that.
Hmm.
Patrick is saying, PTP's accusing me of having tried to go to Kickstarter and getting secretly rejected. This is more of this, reality's not interesting enough. Like, we have to invent something else. Like, something else is secretly going on. It's not what it seems to be.
If you would use this writing power that you're using to rewrite reality and focus it towards a comic book, you might have something.
If you could draw comic books the way you draw faulty gay conclusions and inferences. Here's PTP. Indiegogo had some major issues. What do you know? You don't know anything. You could never get anyone on the phone if you had a problem. Can you imagine? Yeah, we could text them, Patrick, like you do me.
How many times during the Shadowban era of Comicsgate did we hear Ethan complain that he couldn't get a hold of anybody at Indiegogo? How many times has Ethan talked about how when you have problems, you can't talk to anybody at Indiegogo? Yes, it's been plenty, but if PTP says it, it can't possibly be true. And no, I cannot stay out of trouble, Apex Comics. It just follows me around, man. And yeah, doesn't he? Doesn't Jay Bama totally look like he's drooling on himself? Oh my God. Yeah. Total. I'm not going to say the word. I'm not.
My campaign, but and earned it back the hard way by selling a sob story to my fans.
Well, you did do that to your car, Cecil. So
he says they showed him the list, so that would have been in some kind of an email or something.
I know what the list is, by the way. I know what the list is. I'm going to tell you in a minute.
Where's the proof of that?
Let's see the receipts on that. Fucking
he had a back room that he involved Indiegogo.
Indiegogo themselves told me about this in great detail and showed me. Was this Patrick? You're a fucking liar. If they did that, they'd be opening themselves up to a lawsuit. They would. Nobody showed you anything, and you just got done saying you couldn't get anyone on the phone. That's correct. You couldn't.
It sounds like they were very helpful.
Shane, get in here.
It's funny.
I like how Cecil needs Shane. Shane, get in. We need more retards, because look at Jay Bama just drooling on himself.
That we're only now just hearing about this, and not like the instant that it fucking happened, supposedly.
Yeah. Of course, that, can we point out, like, what the fuck am I saying? I am going to point out that PTP didn't say shit about that phone call about Mandy. Nothing. Never said a goddamn word. Never said anything really about the Dungeoneer shit either. Not really, except occasionally to defend himself. But mostly, he just let you all fucking talk. But how long did PTP stay quiet about the Mandy phone call and the 4-finger inserts? Months.
Like if this had happened, he would have been he'd be all over the internet that very same moment, bragging about it, talking about it. Like, look, I got the receipts. Oh, he just kept it to himself. Wow, with tremendous restraint.
Yeah, some people have it. Some people don't have to talk about everything on the fucking internet. They just don't. They don't have to show all their DMs. They don't have to spend months raging about the same people. They just don't. Hello, Snug.
So I went to Kickstarter apparently and was turned away. So despite claiming they want nothing to do with Kickstarter, it's actually the other way around. Kickstarter didn't want the Frog book or his drama. He was denied a Kickstarter campaign, but he tried. This faggot, I have never once tried to get a Kickstarter campaign. And if I did, I would probably be able to get it. I've never once, not once efforted, not once even thought about getting a Kickstarter campaign. I've never submitted a campaign to Kickstarter, was never denied a Kickstarter campaign. None of that. This is all a hallucination of PTP. He is a liar. John, why didn't you tell me this guy was trouble? You kept telling me he was a good guy this whole time.
I think Ethan doth protest too much. I seem to remember a time, Mac, when Ethan was talking about going to Kickstarter. It was before the announcement of what was going to be Robert Romano's crowdfunding platform that was going to be his and Ethan's somehow. I don't know. It was really fucking weird. But you all remember it had that goddamn awful green and white, I think it was, look, and it was just horrible. And Ethan was talking about doing Kickstarter, and John Malin had a fucking fit. And then Ethan dropped the whole Kickstarter talk, and I wonder why. I would not be surprised if Ethan actually did go to Kickstarter and Kickstarter said, fuck you. Because if I was Kickstarter, I would tell Ethan, fuck you.
So it makes perfect sense that he sits around all day developing these like intricate plots that we're not doing to satisfy his own failures.
Yeah, I hope there are no defamatory lies about me in Lazmat's new documentary. Boy, I really hope there are no defamatory, slanderous. I'm here. What I'm doing right at this moment, and send this to Lazmat, is I am denying what PTP just said. In other words, I'm letting you know on the record that is not true at all. It's a fucking lie. And if you use it, knowing now what I just said, it is defamation. That is a lie. I never went to Kickstarter. If I had gone to Kickstarter, I would have and not told my fans. I would consider that a betrayal of my fans. I did not do that. So if you publish anything that PTP is saying there about Kickstarter, it is defamatory. You are knowingly publishing lies. If you do that, you should reject PTP's conspiracy theories. He does not have evidence of this because no evidence exists because it just isn't true.
Who believes it? I do.
He does. If he has receipts, let's see the receipts.
Yeah.
For any of that. For
it's real simple.
Anything in that. So I'm just saying, I would consider that to be defamatory. I would consider that to be at the point where it's no longer fun. You're objectively spreading lies, and I'm putting you on notice that is untrue. Okay. If he has receipts, he needs to show you receipts, or you are knowingly publishing lies, and that is illegal. That is actionable. That's what we call in the legal business actionable. And so you should just heads up about that, Lazmat.
For someone who has been involved in a defamation suit as a defendant, Ethan doesn't seem to have a very good grasp about how all of this works. One, how in the fuck is someone saying You were going to use another crowdfunding platform defamation, even if it's not true. How is that defamation? How does that affect Ethan's bottom line? It does not, I say, because Ethan will just use that shit the way he's gonna use it to build up drama and sales for his own fucking book. Like, he uses every, quote, conceived attack against him. How is he going to prove that he's not making money on, say, this new crowdfund, which isn't doing very well? Because PTP said that Ethan once got rejected by Kickstarter. Now, what I think is that Ethan seems pretty fucking cocky about it all in his call for receipts, which is normal for him because his process is to call for receipts and wait for you to bring them up. And that way he knows what he has to fight with his narrative, right? Like, he can't bring up his own receipts, because if he brings up his own receipts first, then he has to build the narrative, and he doesn't know what you have, and you could just totally blow him out of the fucking water. So he demands you show them first. And I don't think there are any actual receipts between Ethan and PTP, for the simple reason that Ethan is way too fucking cocky, and I think it was a telephone call. I think Ethan told this to PTP. It wasn't in writing. It was over the phone, and PTP can't prove that. But what I can prove to you is that there is a list. There is a list of Comicsgate that Indiegogo could very well have used to shadow ban people, because their AI, remember, this is at a time they started using a new program. The AI is picking up all these fucking campaigns with comments that aren't answered, lots of comments, lots of campaigns with no updates. And then they look and they see they're all on Comicsgate.org. Every single Comicsgate creator, every single Comicsgate campaign ended up on Comicsgate.org, a public website that Indiegogo could very well say, hey, yeah, we know who Comicsgate is because there's this fucking website over here run by this guy, Robert Romano, you know, the one that helped save your trademark because he got you hooked up with an attorney. That dude, Robert Romano, told Indiegogo who each and every one of you was. Yep. Robert Romano told Indiegogo who is Comicsgate and who is not. And then they were able to go through all of your campaigns and shadow ban you because you weren't following the rules. As Morg says, Your Honor, because my fans are stupid and insane, and because I trained them to hate Kickstarter because my friend John is a bitch, it's actually very damaging to accuse me of using Kickstarter. Yeah. Just fucking crazy shit, man. What was he thinking? Like, he's just gonna go out. I can't. I'm sorry. Hold on. I've got it. I can't. I cannot look at this guy. Why would you do that, Ethan? Why would you threaten to sue anybody? Have we forgotten a little thing called discovery? And this is the amazing thing. I think a Lazmat should go ahead and include anything that PTP tells him in the documentary about Ethan using Kickstarter, because I want to see Ethan sue. He won't, because this is all fucking performative. This is all just to rile up some people, maybe get one or two of those daily backers on his new Cyber Frog Girls Diary book, you know. But if he were to sue, there's this thing called subpoenas, and they could, you know, send a subpoena over to Kickstarter and ask them for any correspondence they have with Ethan Van Sciver or All Caps Comics or whatever other, and off the top of my head, I can't remember the name of the corporation that they do all this under because it's late on a Sunday night. But yeah, like that information would be readily available if you choose to sue, Ethan. Please do it because I want to see it. It's not that much. I don't feel that it is too much to fucking ask. Right? Does anybody else think it's too much to ask? It can't be. Just do it. Because I know, like in my heart, and it's not a matter of trusting PTP over Ethan. I just remember it at the time. Ethan actually on stream floating the idea of doing a Kickstarter. And then John had his little freak out about Clint Stoker and shit. Yeah. So, who knows? I'm going to talk. I gotta talk about fucking Liam and shit. So, here we go.
All right, a word from our sponsor.
Now, somebody later on tonight will probably be e-fapping fucking Liam. It'll probably be Risey. You know, that seems to be his new job. Right? Right?
He was streaming or e-fapping Commie Mark, right? And he was showing the artwork from Commie Mark's campaign, which was my artwork. So he was actually showing some of my artwork when they were reviewing the Commie Mark Krishna Kid campaign and going over it. So I was watching that, and I guess he stopped watching it and put up an image. I wasn't paying attention, and I like let it go. Like we weren't talking about it. It was just sitting there while me and Chris were fucking talking about food or whatever. So Liam was like, "Oh, that's copyrighted artwork. That's my artwork. You can't take that. So I'm striking you." You know, so he struck me for that. And then he kept fucking with me. And then he started doing other shit to my channel and calling it like a strike war or whatever. And I didn't do anything or say anything. And then Ethan is like, yeah, flagging is wrong, but you know, once you've pushed somebody so far, you know, it's, you know.
That's the exact same thing. Excuse me. Ethan said when Liam had Tug on his channel and Tug told people how to dox me. You just pushed, you were just too mean to Tug, so you deserved it.
It's acceptable or whatever. To that, Ethan reiterated and rehashed all the fucking PTP shit with him and Anna. So he like got Anna to ask PTP some questions, and PTP started making up like a whole bunch of shit. You know, so that like fucking pissed me off because that's all not fucking true. Just like Ethan is like sitting here going, "Where's those receipts? That's not true." It's like the same thing. I'm like, there's no receipts for this shit. But Ethan took it and got it from Anna. So Anna is like into it. She's all into like the drama and is like, "Hey, what's going on?" So, and then the other day during the CG Queens, she's like fucking like blind item talking about the whole situation and then lying about it.
Can I just say real quickly, as an aside, one of the things about Anna that really fucking gets me is how much shit she will talk. Like she sits there, she'll talk about PTP. She was more than happy to suck up all the gossip about the quote Dungeoneers. And does anybody know that Anna's sister runs her own sex dungeon? Yeah. And here she is like her own shit doesn't stink and that there's something wrong with it, though apparently she does not get along with that sister. But yeah, she has been.
That was fucking.
Oh, and yes, Tom Lair died yesterday, and I'll be playing something at the end about that.
Pissing me off. So yeah, so I just woke up this morning and like I was thinking about it and I was like, man, I know people in War Campaign are gonna frown upon it, but I'm not. I don't care. I'll fucking walk alone on this. And I just decided to fucking create a target list and just started fucking striking everybody and anybody that had talked about the medical lies. I used HIPPA laws because Ethan had employed me. So anyway, so he's making sure.
I have to laugh at that. So when I first heard that, somebody sent this timestamp to me and I couldn't stop fucking laughing. HIPAA.
Everybody knows that I'm an employee and that I work for him. I work for Patrick, so Patrick's sharing medical information. It's not true, but the intent that he's sharing it is true. You know what I'm saying? Like he's creating shit with the intent to do damage to me and to my reputation.
Bro, you're in CG. Duh. It's so ridiculous because I like tell everybody when they're coming in. I specifically told Matt when he came into CG, but bruh, HIPAA? That ain't how HIPAA works. This is one of those things I actually know about because I worked in doctors' offices, and when HIPAA was first signed into law, I was working at a perinatology office in New Mexico. And yeah, HIPAA might maybe apply if you had some big employer that was self-employed and paying their own medical claims out of their fucking office. But you were a contractor, honey. They weren't paying your medical benefits. Nobody was giving you fucking insurance through Riot Press or through fucking All Caps Comics. HIPAA, yeah, I know, but I like spelling it HIPPA. I did it on purpose, Scott. Will. This is HIPAA does not fucking apply. It just doesn't. Because none of those people are doctors. They're not getting it from doctors. They don't act as insurance agents. HIPAA. I mean, I get it. Liam does not remember striking people. I heard him say that on CG Church today. I don't remember striking that. I don't remember that strike, Dark Gift. I didn't do it because I don't remember it. What the fuck? He also said that he only struck Matt's channel the one time. And this right here, I'm assuming this is what he was talking about, was the Etsy's. Because the Etsy guys are, of course, you know, all the same people that Matt's friends with now. So weird, man. So fucking weird. But even more bizarre than that was after Matt is on LRJ's talking about how he's got his war plan. He's ready to strike all these people. He was privacy striking Ethan for his phone number and HIPAA violations. But the phone number is valid, so you could privacy strike him for that, I suppose. And that was just last night or the night before. And then I'm watching this over at CG Church today.
Mindy, I don't think he meant.
Yeah, he meant Mandy. I'm sorry, Mindy. Not you, but yeah.
What's going on,
what's
TJ?
up, son of Jarrell? I think it's the first time you've been here. So sup, everybody. Sup, Ant, sup, Liam. But yeah, dude, it was fucking great. And then me and Raptor, I finally got to dunk on him about his promotional bullshit because he bitches and moans about, oh, I want to promote, but like I don't. I promote my own way by pulling up links. Shut up, pussy.
Yeah.
And then Matt Bahr and Katie decided to apologize to each other. Good job, Katie. Good job, Matt. And now they're moving strikes. Look what them church boys do. We go around.
Church boys do,
we
baby.
go around. We hug everybody. We make them real uncomfortable, and then they decide to become friends. It's great.
That's what we do. Them church boys.
I thought they're supposed to like make content off of people and talk about the same shit every week.
They talk about the same shit every week because there's like 9 people on a fucking panel. And when you're a slave to your chat and people like respond to the chat and you got 9 people you can't fucking control. And what the fuck is up with Ruby's goddamn audio? Can you do something about that, bruh? Can you get yourself a good Bluetooth for your fucking phone if that's the way you're connecting? Can you? I mean, I report on drama every week. I don't pretend I'm not doing fucking drama content. But you guys do drama content. It's the entire format of that show. It's all it is drama. And what the fuck? Literally. We're going to go back. I'm going to roll this back a little bit. Matt Bahr apologized to Katie did. I don't know if they talked on the stream. I give 0 fucks about any of that. I really don't care what kind of accommodation they have come up with. But I noticed that the first thing she says is apologize accepted, because she specifically says, can you undo it? Can you undo it? So it's not enough that he apologized. She wants him to take his strike back. But I thought the thing went back up. No, Katie did. It's too fucking late. He shouldn't. I don't know why he apologized for striking her in the first fucking place. I don't care why. It just makes absolutely no fucking sense. Let her sit there with that copyright strike on her channel because it's only going to be another month or so anyway. Right? But why apologize? After all of this, Matt Bahr apologized to Katie did. What crazy fucking shit is that? And yeah, a panel with 9 fucking people is unwatchable. I can pop in there and listen for maybe a couple of minutes, then Ruby's fucking audio blows out my eardrums and I leave. Yeah. They talk over each other. You can't understand probably like a good 1/8 of anything that is said on the entire stream. Apologized. You know, Shifter, I don't care that Katie apologized too. Katie should have apologized fucking months ago because she knew it was wrong. Katie's finding herself in a world of shit because Katie got gay-opped by Frog Tony, and trust in Katie did appears to have taken a little bit of a hit. So now we're on the, refurbish Katie did. Like, but it's nuts. I don't understand the point of apologizing to her when she was the one that did something wrong, unless you're looking for some sort of truce, ceasefire. You're just gonna what? stop calling Katie did a doggy diddler? Because you do that. Because you do that, man. I don't know. It's a boggle. It is so bizarre to me. And I watched Dark Gift's stream. I couldn't clip it, you guys. His Not Neutral Ground stream from, I believe it was last night. And you had him revving up a stream to bitch about Naomi Larry. Of all fucking people. Because Naomi Larry sucks up to Comicsgate whenever he wants to sell a book. We know! Not only does Larry suck up to Comicsgate when he wants to sell a book, he'll go on your fucking streams and you let him on. He goes on Ethan's streams and gets Ethan to promote his books for him. The whole time disagreeing with Ethan about Comicsgate. He gives zero fucks. He's quite mercenary when it comes to using any platform he possibly can to sell his shit. But for some reason, we're supposed to be extra angry about it now. I don't know why at all. It made no sense. I listened to it for about an hour. And some of the shit said by Cynic about Larry was just wrong. And I'm sitting there in the damn chat thinking, fuck. And I wrote it out too. These motherfuckers are making me want to defend Larry. Not to defend him because I like Larry, because I don't really. There's absolutely no love lost between Naomi Larry and I. Katie did, with her I promote more people than you ever have, Larry, when Larry's been doing this shit for close to a decade. Yeah. And he's been promoting the fuck out of, yeah. Granted, small channel. I do not know. I know he simul streams to Facebook. And I don't know what his Facebook live view count is. I don't know. I've never, yeah. There's no love lost between me and a lot of people. That is so true. So I don't know what his I know his numbers aren't great now. I don't know what they've, been in the past. And then Grift brings fucking Risey on the stream. So Risey can yell at Naomi Larry and derail shit because they got a history that goes back further than most people in Comicsgate can even fucking imagine. Like back in the days of Google Hangouts, man, and when before Comicsgate was even really Comicsgate and before Ethan was even around. And it was such a shit show of a stream. Katie accusing Larry of trying to do shit for clout. Excuse me, bitch? Excuse me? I'm sorry, what? Did you try to accuse somebody else of being a clout goblin? Really? And I sit there and I wonder why they continue to do this. I know Grift isn't getting a whole lot of views. I know Raptor's doing some decent live views and doing drama shit. CG Church is getting more live views as they do more drama shit. And their drama shit involves more of the slums, butting up against new CG. They get a bitch about Tony too, just like everybody else, because nobody fucking likes Tony. So it's really just more of the same. I don't send out links. I This is my show. I don't do a panel show. I don't do an interview show. I just don't. It's mine. Larry always talks about doxing people. Larry's always accused of doxing, wanting to dox people. This is nothing new. You're not telling us anything fucking new about Naomi Larry. Testify accused Naomi Larry of doxing him when all he did was send in DMs a picture of Testify that was already circulating on Kiwi Farms. Larry doesn't dox anybody because Larry knows if he actually doxes somebody, it would be extremely bad for his business. He is an indie comics and does crowdfunding. He's not going to dox anybody. And I don't even fucking like Larry. I don't particularly care for Larry. He's come into my DMs raging at me about shit, telling me to delete tweets that I won't delete. No. It's just Larry. And he's probably got a new fucking Kickstarter coming up, and you're all giving him the fucking attention that he wants for it. Congratulations. Congratulations for giving Larry the attention that he wanted. Yeah. Yeah, the YouTubers, especially in this space, and I'm not trying to set myself apart from anybody else. I'm part of this ecosystem too. I don't sit and have fights with people on my show. Notice Liam did an entire cope stream about me, and I'm not going to address any of it. I didn't even watch more than 2 minutes of it. But you all have to fucking defend yourselves against everything, even if it's stupid. You have to give attention to people who are only going after you for attention. Liam's only out there for fucking attention. Liam wants the clout from the fucking new CG people. New CG, they want Katie's clout because she's got some, she's closer to Ethan than anybody else in their little group. That's all it is down here. It's the fucking slums. This is the bottom of the fucking barrel. And you're not like some middle class suburb over there in New CG. You're all in the slums too. Yeah. And then Liam started arguing some more with fucking Dark Gift because you had to put Dark Gift and Liam on a stream together because you knew what was going to fucking happen, Cynic. You knew what would happen if you put Liam and Dark Gift on another stream together. So don't tell me that you're not doing a show on Sundays for drama. Please don't. Because it's not true. I want drama. I can't wait for Caseytron to do another fucking spell out at the park. Pouring salt on grass because, that's just smart. I can't wait for what happens with Denim or Frogan. I've been watching, Medicare might be dead. Who knows? It's been a few weeks since anybody's heard from him. I don't know, but it's drama. I like the soap opera of watching Johnny Somali. That dude's fucked. fucked over there in South Korea. But I'm not starting fights with fucking Johnny Somali for content. You know? Like, it's the same fucking shit and has been the same fucking shit for years down here. Except for me. I will say my show's a little bit different. You know? A little bit of ego shoving its way in there. Yeah, I do something a little bit different. But only because I don't engage in all of the drama with you. I just tell everybody what the fucking drama is. But as Will pointed out earlier, Tom Lehrer died yesterday. And if you don't know who Tom Lehrer is, you have missed out on some of the greatest satirical and parody music of probably my lifetime, even though he recorded everything before I was born. The first time I'd heard of Tom Lehrer was during high school, during assembly. Now, I went to this really weird school, 250 students. There were 60 kids at the beginning of the year in my graduating class, and we left with 58. That was the largest class they'd ever had. And once a week, we had assembly, which for a lot of schools, from what I saw visiting friends at high schools, these things tended to be a little bit more regimented. Ours were like whoever wanted to get up and speak, spoke. Whether it was the dean of students, whether it was a student, it was like, it looked like a fucking hippie commune, and they treated assembly that way. And I heard Poisoning Pigeons in the Park by Tom Lehrer, sung by a couple of kids who were seniors when I was a sophomore. That's weird. I can even still see them. Like, I remember their names and everything. He was a mathematician at MIT. And so on my way out, because I might get struck, so I'm putting it at the very end of the stream, I am going to play for you one. Yes, he did the Von Braun song, which is a great one. It is a really good one. And he was almost 100 years old. And Bubba Fett says he heard of him from Dr. Demento. Yeah. So on my way out tonight, I'm going to play Tom Lehrer. You all have a fabulous fucking week. The Discord. Oh, I almost forgot. I did start the Discord. Everybody's welcome. I even let Ahmed in, for fuck's sake. So, you know, anybody can come in unless you're pods. And here, it's in the description, but I will go ahead and plop it here in the chat. Go join the fucking thing. I still need to do some decorating. I'm open to ideas about channels. Whatever you guys want. All right. So here we go.
I really have a yen to go back once again, back to the place where no one wears a frown. To see once more those super special, just plain folks in my hometown. No fellow could ignore the little girl next door. Ah, she sure looked sweet in her first evening gown. Now there's a charge for what she used to give for free in my hometown. I remember Sam, the druggist on the corner. He was never mean or ornery, he was swell. He killed his mother-in-law and ground her up real well, and sprinkled just a bit over each banana split. The guy that taught us math, who never took a bath, acquired a certain measure of renown. And after school he sold the most amazing pictures in my hometown. that fellow was no fool who taught our Sunday school, and neither was our kindly Parson Brown. Jeg må hellere strue den linjen in my I remember Dan, he was the village idiot, and though it seems a pity it was so, he loved to burn down houses just to watch the glow, and nothing could be done because he was the mayor's son. The guy that took a knife and monogrammed his wife, then dropped her in the pond and watched her drown. Oh, yes, indeed, the people there were just plain folks in my hometown.
My hometown reminds me of Comicsgate. Good evening, everybody. See you next week.